just want to give you all a bit to come in. Hopefully we have a couple people on here today. The name of this video today is entitled Healing is Not for the Weak. Healing is not for the weak. Um, it's easy to stay in ignorance and to stay in the condition that you're in. And that's why it truly takes a strong person to want to heal and to actually go through the steps of healing. The first thing and the hardest thing is actually realizing that you have a problem and determining what that problem is. And then after that, you have to determine how you're going to go about the healing. Whatever that may be, any loss, trauma, things you've dealt with in the past or dealing with currently that are hindering you from living your best possible, happiest, freest, stress-free life. And healing is a process, and it should be done in steps. First, as I mentioned before, is realizing that there is an issue and having that self-realization, pinpointing exactly what it is, pinpointing exactly where it came from. And that actually may happen during the process of healing, because sometimes talking it out and actually working through things helps you discover the actual root of the issue. So after you determine what it is and you say you want to go through the process, you have to see what process is going to be best for you. People have different ways of healing. Some may be a bit reclusive and like to go inward to heal, and that's my style, because I don't like to share a whole lot with people. And then if I do, it would be usually someone like a counselor. I go the opposite of someone that knows me very, very well. I don't know why I do that, but I almost always prefer to go to a stranger or a counselor, someone that I won't see on a regular basis, to tell them the deepest stuff. And after you determine what method of healing is going to be best for you, whether it be counseling, whether it be more seclusion, taking a trip, a spiritual healing, things that deal with the body and more exercise type stuff, whatever you find that works for you, that's what you have to do for you. So after you just determine what method is going to be the best for you in healing, then you have to go through the actual process. And that's the part that also takes a lot of strength, because healing in itself is not for the weak, because it's much easier just to stay in your situation. But when you decide to heal and you decide to actually go through that process, you have to prepare yourself and prep yourself for all of the different emotions and changes that you're going to go through. Hi, Uriah. How are you today? So, and healing is definitely something that we all must do. We're in a period now of recognition and transformation and restoration. And to have all of those things, you got to look back. You got to see what needs to be fixed in order to move forward in a prosperous and a productive way. The movie Straw, I can't talk about enough. That's good to hear, Uriah. Thank you for joining the live. The movie Straw, I can't talk about enough because it's definitely a trigger. I've heard women crying about it. I heard men, and they said when they saw it, they were crying about it because it has such a human element to it. You can't help but deny it and to see it, because everybody goes through something, but different people go through different levels and degrees. I think that the climate we're in is forcing us to get to a place where we actually go and heal, because people, yeah, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. People, I'm just talking about trauma and the fact that we all need to go and heal to become a better person, and the fact that healing is not for the weak. It actually takes a strong person to want to heal, a strong person to want to dig up the past and deal with the past. But yeah, we're in a climate where people are tapping into that spiritually and emotionally, and they're realizing that something is wrong and they want to do the work. I don't think I've ever heard of so many people wanting to get therapy, getting counseling in it, and not being ashamed of it. You know, I went through counseling for the first time when I went through my first divorce, and it was very helpful, very, very helpful. People don't realize how beneficial it is to have someone just as a sounding board. They don't even have to offer any advice. Just somebody just to listen is such a great help, you know? Thank you, Uriah. I appreciate it. Thank you and welcome. I hope you're ready for all of my shenanigans. I talk about a plethora of things on this channel. So if you just want to go and type in something in the playlist in the search box, I'm sure you'll find me talking about it in there. Hi, Ina. I think that's how to pronounce it. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, let me know. Have you all done counseling? How has your healing journey been? Did you find it difficult? Was it painful? Was it stressful? How long did it take you to actually feel like you were getting anywhere? And that's the other thing, the time. Everybody heals differently. Everybody takes whatever time they need to take in order to heal, you know, and you have to take your time. Be patient with yourself. Just because somebody else got over their divorce in 6 months doesn't mean that you're going to. Doesn't mean it won't take you a year or two, you know. Everybody has their own way of dealing with grief, dealing with trauma, and everybody has their own way of healing, you know, that's going to be best for them. Hi, Uriah. Okay, you follow? Yes, thank you. I appreciate that too. But yeah, let me know you all's healing journey, you know, your stories. I'd like to learn. I'd like to hear what different people go through, how you processed it. And I actually currently in counseling as well, because I know that I need it. You know, I've been through a lot in the last few years, and that in itself, is a lot. If you go through a lot in a short period of time, that tends to take a great toll on you as well. So sometimes you have to get that intense healing, intense training and stuff like that. And don't be afraid to go within. You have people that love to be alone, and then you have some people that are afraid to be alone. And sometimes you have to tap into where that fear is coming from. Why do you always feel you have to be around people, that, you know, you have to be interacting, that you're seeking validation and, you know, from other people? What is it in you that you don't like that's making you feel that you have to do that? Because, hi, Cecilia, how are you today? Bless you, love. What's in it in you that you're afraid of? Why are you afraid to sit still with yourself? You know, and healing is a part of that as well. Becoming more comfortable with yourself, more comfortable in your skin, loving yourself, loving your own company, okay? Because you are always what it's going to be. People will come and go. Kids are going to be in and out of the house. Maybe even a spouse may be in and out of your life. You never know, but there's always going to be you. And you have to be comfortable with you. You have to take care of you. You have to love on you. And you have to heal you. Heal you, starting with here. And then everything else will follow and flow. And don't forget to take care of that beautiful body. All right? So you want your body to get you through life? Take care of your body. But don't forget to take care of your mental state, your mind, you know, because the mind gets ignored a little bit too much. And we have to take the stigma off of it again. Take the stigma off of mental health. Take the stigma off of going to counseling. Take the stigma off of, you know, talking to someone else if you have a problem. Take the stigma off of just acknowledging you have a problem. Because in the Black community, unfortunately, we have this thing about just oh, well, ain't nothing wrong with you. That's all in your head. All you need is Jesus. You'll be okay, you know, and that's not enough. That's not going to suffice, because just as Black people in this country, we have a lot of trauma we need to deal with. And then you start trickling down all these other traumas, whether it be financial, emotional, spiritual, religion, all of these other things. We got a lot to heal from. All right. Yes, Uriah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that. But I truly wanted to know you all's opinions and your thoughts and have you all gone on a healing journey? What was it? Did you just seek counseling? Did you go off somewhere? Did you take a hiatus? How did that go for you? You know, because those thoughts and ideas may actually help someone else to think about different ways that they could go about their own personal healing. You know, um, and it can be a lot, but sometimes you just have to sit in it and realize, hey, I'm just going about it. I'm just going about my day and acting like nothing is wrong when there's a whole lot wrong, and you're just suppressing trauma. You're just pushing it on down, acting like everything is okay. And being strong, you know, the strong black woman, single parenting and all that stuff. And there's a lot of things that we make normal that are not normal. It should not be normal. All right. You took a trip to the zoo last month. That's awesome. You know, and a lot of people might think that's funny, but we can learn a lot from the animals. You should really pay attention to how carefree the animals are, because even in the Bible it says, you know, what are you worrying for? I take care of the birds and the trees. I mean, you know, you got flowers out there that are going to burn up the next day, but they're out there being happy and free and just living their life. You know, they're living the life that they've been given, and we have to live the life we've been given. We have to make the best of it, you know, by taking care of ourselves. Yeah. You liked it? Yeah. I like the zoo. I like animals. I just like being out in nature itself. It's very therapeutic and helpful for me. Just taking a walk, getting fresh air, because that's another thing. We're always cooped up in these buildings nowadays, and we're not truly experiencing nature. We're meant to be out in nature because it was made for us. Nature was made for us. And we're now in all of these synthetic, you know, man-made things and buildings and air conditioning, and we're staying away from the sun, and the sun is actually our friend. The sun is what's gonna, you know, help us produce vitamin D, of which a lot of us black people are deficient of because we're not out in the sun, you know, and that vitamin, that sun and the melanin need to collaborate and coordinate, like Brother Spoon used to say. But yeah, all of these things work together, and you know, everything is twisted all around. Like the things we need, we reject, and things we don't need that are bad for us, that's what we want, you know. But yeah, yep, exactly. But yeah, that was my spiel for today. I've been on here about 12 minutes, but I want to thank you all for joining me. If you see this video after the fact, please leave your questions, comments, and concerns. And remember, you are not weak. You are not weak for seeking help, for seeking mental help, counseling, anything that's going to better yourself. Actually, healing is not for the weak. Wanting to heal and going through that process is actually for the strong. So you